Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Learn English with Rahman. And today I'll be talking about another part of speech, and that is interjection. So first of all, we should know that what is interjection and how do we use that. So I have already written the definition of interjection on the whiteboard just to cut short the video. So a word or phrase that is grammatically independent from the words around it and mainly expresses feeling rather than meaning. So this is a word or maybe a phrase so that is independent grammatically, that doesn't, that is not dependent on something else around these words. Like there are some words around them, but these conjunction, interjection I'm talking about, that is grammatically independent and it doesn't need anything else, anywhere else. And it mainly focuses on feeling of something, not the meaning. Like interjection is something that is giving us information about a feeling of something that doesn't explain any sort of meaning in that. Like for example, there are some words in our native language. Sometimes when something good happens to us, there are some mouth phrases, some natural reaction that we make. Some of the words that we suddenly say and we don't know that what we said, but we see those words, and for them we call interjection. Like for example, if there is someone that hurts himself, suddenly he will say ouch. Like that is a word that is explaining something, feeling of something. Like a person is not very happy with that, what happened. And if there is a cricket match and somebody won that, so suddenly they will start screaming, they will start hooting, and they will start some sort of noising and voice. So those sort of natural reactions are called interjections. Examples are hurrah, bravo, and there are many more like ls, fi, or like hi, and hello. Many more in that. So I have already written few of them here in the example. So the types we will discuss right now. So let's come to types of interjection. Interjection is very much simple. There is nothing more with that. That is a word that is explaining the feeling of something, that is not talking about the meaning of something. There are many more types of interjection, but I have written some of them. Interjection of greeting. Greeting means to say salam to someone. Like when you meet someone, you say salam, you say hello, hi. So that is something explaining. That is also a word that is independent. Like if you say hello, how are you, means how are you is something else, and hello doesn't have anything with that how are you. So it is independent and it doesn't have any sort of link with that how are you or with something else. So it means that it is an independent word. As I told you that interjections are independent. They have nothing to do with the rest of the things, with the rest of the words and phrases. Hello and hi. These are the interjections of greeting that you use for a greeting. When you want to meet someone, you say salam to someone. So these are the words, these are interjections which are used for greeting, for meeting someone for the first time or maybe for the second time, but just meeting someone. For meeting, you use hi and hello. So these are called interjections of greeting. So let's come to interjection of joy. Joy means to be happy. Like that you are happy for something. So I have written hurrah and wow. Like for example, you saw something surprising, you saw something very much good. Like for example, if your friend did something great and you said, wow, that's great. And or maybe your friend bought a new car and you said, wow, what a car that is. Means you're talking about, you're explaining you're happy for your friend. So that wow is expressing that. And hurrah means we won the match. Hurrah. So that hurrah is explaining the feeling of people, the feeling of players. So that is used for joy and it is called interjection of joy. Let's come and move on to interjection of attention. Attention means to be focused. To be focused. To pay your heed to something. So for that we use shh, like that, shh or hush. Like these are the words we use most of them. Like for example, if you are a teacher, we basically are talking about teachers, we use it a lot. For example, you are in the classroom, there are a lot of students, they are making noise, and you are very much angry and you suddenly say, shh, be silent, or hush, be silent. So you use that sort of word in that, so you are trying to get their attention. So for that, we use interjection, and this is called interjection of attention. Let's jump to interjection number 4, and that is interjection of approval, to appreciate something. Like if someone did something good or you agree to something else with someone, so you use interjection of approval, like bravo, brilliant. Like for example, if someone did a very good job and you say, wow, brilliant, you did a very good job. Brilliant is something that is not explaining its meaning, that is explaining its feeling. Like that is called interjection, which you like that explains feeling. And bravo, bravo means you're appreciating something. Bravo, you got a, for example, a good car, or bravo, you got first position in the classroom. That's appreciable. So that must be appreciated. So for that we use interjection of approval. Now let's jump to interjection of surprise. Surprise means exclamatory, like that is something surprising. We say oh and ah, etc. Like for example, somebody told you that I can speak English. You say, oh, really? So that oh is something explaining the surprising of something. Like that is something I say exclamatory. That is exclamation is explained here. For that we use interjection of surprise. And let's come to the last one that we have to be talking about today. That is interjection of sorrow. Sorrow is used for something, for a very bad situation in which you are very much upset, you're not very happy, you are a bit worried, or maybe you are under the weather, maybe whatever happens to you, but you use that. For example, suddenly, if somebody died and you say, oh, alas, he died. So alas is something used for that. Or maybe you hurt someone and you say, ouch. Like we basically use it a lot. And something else happened, oops, that's not true, that should not be true. That is something that I didn't like it, I wanted something else to happen, but that is what happened. So that interjection is used for interjection of sorrow. So guys, that was all about interjections and its types. So if you want to note it down, so first of all I'll give you some seconds, and if you still you're not able to write it in that time, so for example you have to pause the screen and then write it down. So first of all I give you some seconds, write it down. Okay guys, I'm sure that you have wrote it down and you have understood everything perfectly. And if you still have any sort of problem, don't forget to share it with me. I will try my best to tackle your problem. And of course, subscribe me on my YouTube channel. I will make my videos for you guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. Have a good day.